Hello folks, Javan Bernakevitch here with All Points Design, that's allpointsdesign.ca, and today we're taking a look at the Oregon State University Permaculture Design template. The way we use this template and the way that we've constructed it is that wherever there is information for you to put into the template, anything that is specific to your site or to you or to any information you find about your site, we've put yellow text boxes to either guide you or to show you where that information should go. So on the first slide, we'll see on the left-hand side, there's a note. This template is designed to allow the design to include the highest level of detail. The level of detail may not always be available. Feel free to make your own template, draw your maps by hand, use a hybrid model of drawn assignments photographed and placed in this template, or one of your choosing. It is not mandatory to use this template. So already great information. If you don't like using the template, if it's not something that works for you, feel free to do your work by paper and pencil. I still do a lot of my designs by paper and pencil first and foremost before I take it to a graphic render. We've created this template to help showcase your site and design suggestions. Please modify and change this template to suit your personality and your design style. Overall layout, color, font, type, background, color, pictures, doesn't matter. Whatever you'd like to do. If you don't like the font, if you don't like the color, don't like the image, change it. This is for you to use. One of the reasons we made this template in 11 by 17 is so that way you could print it. So that way this could be a printed portfolio after you were finished. As we take a look at the rest of the material, you see this little box in every single one of the slides. All yellow highlighted text and arrows are to be deleted once the slide is submitted for grading. So before you submit the week's assignments, just make sure that there's no more yellow text, at least on the slide. If you want to keep some of these notes outside, totally fine. But anything inside should either be filled out or will be filled out. So in this case, we would insert my name here where it says insert name, and I'm just going to put Javan K. Bernakevitch, and you'll see that it's still yellow. So we'll want to highlight this area. So we can either double click or I can hold and highlight and go up to the highlight button up here and go transparent. And all of a sudden, now I've put in that information. I've read this, please use metric and imperial units. I think that's useful, so I'm going to click on the edge of this. Sometimes you can't click on the inside because it's thinking that you want to insert, so you usually have to go to the edge, not one of the transformation hubs. So these are called transformation hubs, and when you click on them, you can either change or move this text box. And you'll also find that it will automatically start to take a look at other elements in the template, and it will see if it's the same size. So you'll see on the right hand side as I'm holding this, there's a little blue scale indicator, and it's also on the yellow text just to the right of it and the yellow text to the right, lower right of that. And if I make it bigger, I'll lose those, and as I make it bigger still, now it's the same size as the yellow text in the middle. If I make it bigger still, it's going to continually see if there's other elements that are the same size. This is really useful if you're trying to make things look the same size or look in a certain way. So if we want to move that, I'm going to put my cursor on the edge. I'm going to hold it and I'm going to drag it off to the side because I think that's a nice note. I want to hold on to that note. I'm going to come back to my project and we're going to call this Dad and Jan's Urban Oasis. And I'll put the address in here, and so nobody knows where my father and his wife live. It's going to be something, 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 Hawthorne Street, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. You can also put in any of the information in here if you want to put in the Latin long or the UTM coordinates. Again, this is now yellow. I'm going to click on the highlighter, click transparent, and that's done. Now down here in the area, we can start to insert where the location is. So this location is in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Climate type, this is cold temperate. USD hardiness zone. So I'm not in the US. I'm in Canada. So what I might do is change this to the Canadian hardiness zone, or just do CDN for shorthand, and then they're in a pretty solid 4A. Rainfall, I'm going to get that information later on in my assignments. Snowfall further on in my assignments. Frost-free period further on. So a lot of this we're going to find further on in our assignments. So we can come back here and fill that out. But just to make sure I know that this is done and I don't have to think about it again, I'm just going to turn off the highlight so that way I know that that's done. So the yellow is also a nice way to keep apprised of what you have left to do.